westbound. You can see the active crews there. We also have boots on the ground here. Action News Jack's Zion Dakota joins us live. You just got there, Zion. What are you seeing now that you're closer?
Good morning to you, Bethany. We were headed into Baker County here on Interstate 10, and then our office just told us, look for this brush fire that we're seeing off the side of the road on I-10. We just happened to drive up, and then we saw it for ourselves. As you can see right now, crews are there actively monitoring for hot spots. They're dousing some of the grass, some of the brush in this area right now. I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a clean look for yourself. Right now, we are just off of Reed Stafford Road in Baker County. The First Alert Weather Team confirms that this is the same fire that was causing issues yesterday. Again, we are on I-10 near Reed Stafford Road in Baker County. Baker County Fire Rescue told Action News Jax that this fire started at around 1:15 p.m. near Glenn's. Now, Fire Chief Trevor Nelson said he believes the fire was caused by sparks from the metal rim of a tire that had flown off a semi-truck only moments earlier. Baker County Fire Chief Trevor Nelson told us that the fire ended up spreading from 5 to 125 acres in less than 4 hours. Nelson says that the Florida Fire Service, Jacksonville Fire Rescue Department, and McClenny Fire Department helped contain the wildfire. He believes it spread so quickly because of the recent lack of rain. Now, Action News Jax has tracked more than 50 fires around Northeast Florida within the last week. But as I step back into frame right now, as you can see, fire crews are standing right here. They are dousing any hot spots, any brush. You can see some of the smoke emanating from the grass right now. It's billowing over into the highway. You can really smell the aroma of burning wood, burning brush in the air. Visibility is not too bad right now on Interstate 10. Traffic is moving slowly. We do have a light drizzle in the area, so hopefully that can help improve some of the conditions that we are facing out here. For now, we are live in Baker County. For local coverage you can count on, I'm Zion Dakota, Action News Jax. We're off the side of the road here on Interstate 10, but you can still smell the smoke. From my vantage point right here, there are a few embers that are still out there, little pieces of fire that we can see visible from my vantage point, but it's nothing too large right now. But with a look at how these conditions are being impacted by the weather, here is First Alert meteorologist Garrett Biedenbach.
And it isn't out of the question for it to flare up again, Zion, because we are going to have the winds picking up here out of the northwest, 10 to 20 plus miles per hour, some gusts to 25.
We're getting back to that breaking news in Baker County right now, where we've been tracking since 5 o'clock this morning.
Action News Jax Zion Dakota is live off of I-10. Zion, it wasn't less than 15 minutes ago that crews left, but you watched as that fire reignited.
Yes, good morning to you both. We saw some embers just reigniting in the grass this morning as soon as those crews left. Little sparks, nothing too big, but it's still cause for concern. We still see little embers of smoke coming out of the area right now. Our newsroom sent us out to Baker County to look for any sort of fire activity that was still ongoing this morning to see if conditions had either progressed or deteriorated from yesterday. We didn't see much coming out of Duval. It looked clean. It looked good. Visibility was good. We didn't see too much smoke, but as soon as we got the call to head towards US 21 near I-10, we could see crews that were out here just before our 6 a.m. live hit. They were dousing some flames, some embers that were sparking up in the area. You could see visible smoke, but I'm going to step out of the way right now so you can see what it looks like right now. The vantage point is dark, but if we're able to zoom in as much as possible, we see some flames into the woods right now. Smoke is still coming out of the woods. You see the bright orange glow nestled between the trees. It may be hard to get a vantage point from where you're sitting at home, but for where I am, off of I-10 near Reed Stafford Road outside of McClenny, you can still see some of the embers still sparking out here in the woods. Now, of course, crews are continuing to monitor the situation all across Baker County. Baker County Fire Chief Trevor Nelson told us yesterday that the fire that was raging yesterday ended up spreading from about 5 to 125 acres in less than 4 hours. Nelson says the Florida Fire Service, Jacksonville Fire Rescue Department, and McClenny Fire Department helped contain that wildfire, but he believes it spread so quickly due to the recent lack of rain, and of course our freezes have not helped. But again, right now, from my vantage point where I'm standing off the road on Interstate 10 in Baker County, you can see some embers still sparking up in the woods right behind me. So we are going to continue to monitor this situation as it continuously develops. It's a fluid situation as we're out here right now. For local coverage you can count on, I'm Zion Decoto, Action News Jax.
Daylight will help within the next hour to get a better.
Ember keeps reigniting, so you can see the smoke kind of coming through that way. Now, someone who has a better view of this for us, Action News Jax Zion Decoto. He joins us live here from I-10. Zion, crews got back just about 20 minutes ago. What's changed since then?
Anthony, what has changed within the last 20 minutes is that we observed for ourselves some embers sparking up that looked like little flames. As the crews came back, they initially left just before our 6 a.m. live shot. Then they returned moments later after we observed some of those embers. Take a look behind me right now. Firefighters are headed off into the woods. They're monitoring the brush for any sort of smoke, any sort of fire conditions. I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a better look for yourself. We are live on I-10 near Reed Stafford Road, just outside of Glen St. Mary and McClenny in Baker County. Again, crews left the scene right before our 6 a.m. live show. My photographer and I observed the embers reigniting. The crews returned. They are once again dousing hot spots. A firefighter went back into the woods. Multiple are out there right now, actually, taking a look at some of the reignition. Now, our wildfire season is typically March through late May, early June, but the First Alert Weather Team says we are very dry across our area right now, especially along I-75. Our average number of freezes this season also isn't helping the situation. You can see right now, you see two firefighters right now with their gear on, headed into the woods. They're observing some of the reignition that we saw for ourselves. They were dousing some of those flames just a moment ago. Right now, it looks like they're looking for any hot spots. The smoke is emanating from the woods. It's carrying over onto the highway. The visibility is not too bad right now, but you can still see the glow of that fire truck going against some of the smoke that still remains in our area right now. So far, visibility is not too bad. Traffic is flowing well here on I-10 as drivers head into the Glen St. Mary area. But as I step back into frame right now, we are going to continue to monitor this situation. It's a very fluid situation all morning long as conditions continue to change. Right now, it looks like things are progressing. I at least do not see any of the flames from my vantage point. I will not rule out any sort of reignition at this moment. But for now, we are live in Baker County. For local coverage you can count on. Zion Decoto, Action News Jax.
All right, Zion, thank you for that update. It is 6:35 right now. New this morning, the family of Nancy Guthrie is pleading for her return in an emotional social media video. Right now, we also have Zion Decoto, who was the only reporter on the ground in Baker County when that wildfire flared back up.
This wildfire in Baker County this morning, and that's where our Action News Jax Zion Decoto is live on the side of I-10. Zion, this fire getting bigger, it seems, from my point of view. What are you seeing?
Yes, good morning to you, Bethany. I am seeing some reignition this morning. Just to give you an exact vantage point of where we are on I-10, that is outside Glen St. Mary. We've been here for about the last hour or so, 90 minutes or so, and we are still seeing some reignition. We've actually been trying to signal crews to let them know that we are seeing some hot spots flaring up.
Yeah, we were losing his audio there, but we could see what he was seeing, right? Those two different flames that we're talking about. So he's on the ground monitoring that, as crews are as well.
We've been following this for you. We've been one of the only stations here following this for you since 5 a.m. on I-10. This is I-10 westbound, where we have the fire right between US 90, and that's where Action News Jax Zion Decoto is on the side of I-10, was the first reporter on scene. Zion, I believe in that image we just showed, there was more fire starting to pop up, even though crews just left.
Yes, good morning to you, Bethany. Things are all calm right now. What we're seeing is a mix of steam and smoke in the area, and some of those little embers, some of those little flames are a natural part of the wildfire process. Even as crews douse and come back, they'll be in and out of the scene all morning long. But just to give you a precise location of where we are right now, we are on I-10 outside Glen St. Mary, and we've been here all morning long, and we've been observing some of the smoke, some of the flames that are emanating from the woods off of the shoulder of the highway right now. Now, take a look at this video from a short time ago. Crews wrapped up their work here just before our 6 a.m. live shot. Moments later, my photographer and I observed embers reigniting in the wooded area off of the I-10 shoulder. Crews came back out here. They were active within the 6:30 half hour. We are told this is the same fire that was causing issues for Baker County residents yesterday. Naturally, there are embers and small fires after wildfires. Again, crews are in and out of here all morning long. Now, of course, we've been talking with some of the Florida Fire Service, the Jacksonville Fire Rescue Department, and the McClenny Fire Department, who helped contain the wildfire yesterday. Now, officials tell us they believe that it spread so quickly because of the recent lack of rain. Action News Jax has been tracking more than 50 fires around Northeast Florida in the last week. Take a listen to the Fire Chief Nelson talk about some of the conditions that led to yesterday's fire.
The dryness is a very big part of what happened here today, plus the wind that we had. We had between an 18 and 20 mile an hour wind when this fire started.
So you were listening just now to Trevor Nelson, that is the Baker County Fire and Rescue Chief. Again, he said that the dryness is a big part of what happened throughout the past 2 days here. And of course, the freezes that we've been seeing in our area have not helped. And again, we are still seeing a few sparks off into the wooded area, but that is all a part of the natural fire process, the wildfire process. There are small flames left over, small embers, but again, crews are in and out of this area all morning long. Again, we are live off the shoulder on I-10 here, just outside of the Glen St. Mary area. We will be monitoring the conditions all morning long for you. Reporting live for local coverage you can count on, Zion Dakota, Action News Jax.
Zion was the first person this morning to see it ignite again. Thanks,
Baker
Zion.
County, where we're joined with our Zion Dakota you just saw there. That's where we've been following I-10. This fire kind of came up on I-10 just moments ago, and that's where Zion is live. Zion, you just heard from the Assistant Chief of Baker County Fire Rescue.
Indeed, I did, Bethany. But before I get to that, I just want to tell you about how things are looking out here right now. We have the benefit of daylight as of this hour. We can see things a little bit more clearly now. And a lot of that smoke, a lot of that steam has cleared out, but the temperature has noticeably dropped within the past 2 hours or so. But if you look off into the distance, you can see smoke, steam rising out of the wooded area. Now, we just got an update from Donald Blanton, the Assistant Chief of Baker County. He tells us that currently the fire has been contained, but they are doing what's called mop-ups. That is, extinguishing any hot spots. The Florida Fire Service will have multiple representatives on scene to start mopping up again. Baker County Fire Rescue will support the efforts. There are hot spots to take care of, but conditions remain dry, and they are thankful for the rain. At this time, there are no evacuations in place. School routes are back to normal, but they need people to stay out of any affected areas as they work on the fire. The interstate, we're told, has traffic signs warning people to take caution. Now, Baker County Fire Rescue tells me that they will have 2 to 3 units on scene at some of these hotspots supporting the Florida Forest Service. The Florida Forest Service will have approximately 10 or more state assets throughout the day. And in the state of Florida, they will have about 7 to 8 pieces of equipment. But back to the scene now. Again, you can still see small plumes of smoke, white smoke, coming out of the wooded area off the shoulder on I-10 before we get into the Glen St. Mary area. But we are told, again, that the fire is contained. It's in the containment phase, but they are working on mop-ups. Again, mop-ups are crews when they go out to try to extinguish some of these hot spots to gain more control. Again, crews are advising everyone to take precaution as the day goes on. For local coverage you can count on. Reporting live, I'm Zion Dakota, Action News Jax.
Well, to stay on top of the dry conditions and when relief